Okay, guys, welcome back to some Diablo 3 Season 10 with the Witch Doctor. We're doing a little bit of an experimentation on a build here. What I'm trying to do is just go poison, 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 poison. Because what that's going to do is that's going to increase my survivability by as much as physically possible. And while I have Convention of Elements rolling around, that's going to do a lot of damage when something comes up. So the idea here, Plague of Toads. This is going to cause toads to rain from the sky that deal this. So basically when you're looking at this ability, you can just make it rain all day long. It's either a one quick click and it makes it pour down, or you can actually stroll this along, just holding it down, and it will just rain frogs all day long. So that, I do believe, works as a channeling ability, but I don't think it works, sadly, with what I'm doing here, which is the Mantle of Channeling. So, doesn't help us any there, but what does help us there is these guys, my next ability, which is the Fire Bats. So that's what we're going to be working at now, is going to be doing something with this. I have them set on Plague Bats, which it's a fairly low channel. It's 125 mana and then it kind of channels, but we're generating a decent amount of mana, so that helps a lot. So disease bats fly towards the enemy and infect them. Damage is slow at first, but can increase over time to 720% weapon damage as poison. Now, the big kicker with this actually counts as a mana spender, which is why our guys can actually get in there, do some work with them. So we're liking that one. The next one, I actually need to change this over. We're going to do this as Honored Guest. It's a Spirit Walk. This way, if things start going bad, or if we start running out of mana, which is a distinct possibility, pop that Honored Guest, get out of town. That's going to allow us to just walk out, and it's also going to give us a ton of mana back. Fetish Army, we're running Headhunters, we're doing them as poison. So everybody's going poison on this one as much as we can. 2 extra guys shooting blow darts, dealing 130% weapon damage as poison. Good to go. Zombie Dogs, we're looking at 5 zombie dogs on this one because of all the different traits we're taking down here. 5 zombie dogs. In the depths to fight by your side, each dog deals 120% of your weapon damage as physical, which means if we happen to roll over on physical, this guy's going to do some work. If we roll over on cold, these guys are going to do some work. So that's going to be nice. Gargantuan, we're running Humongoid. This is the one that does the big cleave for almost 600% of your weapon damage. Down here, we're going to be boosting those bottom 2 guys. So we're going to have their damage increased by 50%, and that's going to give me an extra dog. That's why we have the 5. Spirit Vessel, once again, if things go bad, we're going to have to revive and get out of there. So that's it basically triggers a second summoning of a Spirit Walk. So it pops us into that, gives us half our health, lets us run away right through everybody. Zombie Handler. This is another one that's kind of nice. Increases our life by 20%, and it also increases our zombie dogs and our gargantuan and gives me another dog. So I think that's worth having there. And then the last one, to increase our survivability, we're looking at Bad Medicine, reducing damage by 25% by 5 seconds for any enemy that has been dealt poison damage. So we're basically going to keep that proc up around the clock. Looking at our items, we'll look at what we have in the cube first. Right now we have Azure Wrath, which is just a random weapon I found to put in there, and it just increased the damage that undead and demons take within 25 yards. They take another 650% weapon damage as holy every second. Mantle of Channeling, this is a big one. While channeling Whirlwind, Rapid Fire, Strafe, Tempest Rush, Fire Bats, basically the channel for every different class. And this one for us is going to be Fire Bats, and it deals 25% increased damage, and we take 25% reduced damage. Very nice. Next one, Convention of Elements. Gain 200% increased damage to a single element for 4 seconds. It rotates through. It's kind of nice because there is poison, there is the physical, there is the cold, all in there. And there's actually holy, and we're doing holy damage with Azure Wrath. So there is a buff in there. Weapon-wise, we're not doing great. We need something better in this slot. We do not have bested slot right here. We just have a Living Umbral Oath. It is an ancient legendary, which is kind of cool. But it's not doing a whole lot of damage. So you see we're only sitting at 412,000 damage. Not great. These are one of the big things that I like having right now. So I gain 10,000 life regeneration per second for each second you stand still. And that effect stacks up to 4 times. So if you stand still for 40 seconds, you're getting 40,000 life regen per second on top of whatever else you already have. So life per second, yeah, I think that's going to move if we do this. See, it goes from 23,000 all the way up to 63,000 per second. So that's 10% of our our life regenerated every second when we're standing still. We're going to be standing still a lot because we're channeling. We're also generating 83 per second, which takes the cost of this one on down. We're only losing about 40 a second, which gives us about 20 solid seconds of just non-stop. So that's kind of nice. Let's see, what else? We're running the Zuni set. We do still have 5 pieces of that, or 6 pieces of that, I'm sorry, which gives us the full set value, which is everything. It's our fetish army lasts until they die. You and your pets take 3% less damage for every fetish we have alive, and we are running 7, so we're taking 21% less damage. Enemies hit by your mana spenders take an additional 2,500% damage from our pets for 8 seconds. Very nice. And it's just some of these others, which increases corpse spider, not really useful. This one increases our fetish army damage by 25%, which has been nice. This is the ring, and we're running the Bane of the Powerful at level 25 in there, which is giving us 15% increased damage versus elites, and gives us that buff for almost a minute after we kill a pack. Right here, we're just running a random legendary belt we got our hands on. It's firebomb damage, which we're not really using, and it's got a locust swarm buff on it, which just adds a slow to it, but it's a decent belt otherwise. We're also just running a random ring we got our hands on here. Not really anything to write home about. Lightning damage has a 29% chance to stun, and we're not using any lightning, so it doesn't really do us any good. Like I said, we're not exactly running best in slot right now. This isn't giving us anything extra really. This is the next one we're working on. So we do actually have an ancient set going on here. This is Eriker's Mantle. So the next one that we would get is where we're really gonna step in. Summoning a permanent Spider Queen who leaves behind webs that deal 4,000 weapon damage over 5 seconds that slow enemies. The Spider Queen is commanded to move to where you cast your corpse spiders. So we will be switching off a Plague of Toads when we get that next one. And it also buffs our gargantuan damage by another 13%. Very nice. Head's not really doing us much of anything. This is increasing locust swarm damage, so I was running locust swarms for quite some time, but I wanted to try playing with this channeling bit. I have yet another ancient legendary. This is the Golden Gorget of Leoric. I actually really like this one. After earning a massacre bonus, we get a pack of skeletons who follow us around for a little bit. Right here we're running another ancient legendary. It's not great, it's just the Custarian wrist guards. What we are working slowly towards is gathering a pile of ancient legendaries. So if we do end up running the set, I can't ever remember what it's called, the Litany build. If we do mess around with the Litany build a little later, we'll take a look at some of that. So that's the gear. Down here we've got Azure Wrath, not really doing us a whole lot, just a random weapon. Convention of Elements. So we talked about those. We're going to get in here. We're going to try Torment 8. Just a standard Nephilim Rift. We're just going to run through it, see what we've got. I'm going to speed this up so you guys can actually see the Rift, and we'll go over what we learned on the other side. So as you can see, it looks like the build did actually do really well for me. I think it has performed excellently. I did get killed right there at the very end, which was kind of unfortunate, but that Hammer Bro really got his hands into me on that one. And I actually picked up a lot of gear. So some of this stuff, not very useful, I'll admit. The head isn't going to be any better than the head I have here. The belt, however, looks like it might actually be better. So we're going to go ahead and swap that out. It's nothing special. It's just another legendary piece. So we'll go ahead and drop that in. This set item actually brings up a pretty good point. What I'll probably be doing is switching up the sets in the near future from the Zuni set where all of my minions do all the work to something more along the lines of me doing all of the work. I do already have the gold wraps and the headpiece I don't really need. I'll save the spear. I like saving weapons. Just, it doesn't do my poor little guard any good here, but I like saving them just because. I am actually rolling in gems and gold at this point, so I'm really liking that. I'm starting to stack up a decent amount of gear. This is the set that I'm going to be looking at, the Jade Harvester's Mercy. So basically what we're going to be getting out of this kind of thing with the two-piece set already, when Haunt lands on an enemy already affected by Haunt, it instantly does 120 seconds worth of Haunt damage. That is absolutely huge. So I think we're going to start moving to something like that. Haunt already boosts the damage that you're doing, and then to do that much more damage on top of it is absolutely ridiculous. You're going to be actually instant killing guys, and Haunt's just going to be moving down the line. So you're just going to be able to haunt as you go. That's going to be really nice. One of the other sets I'm actually going to be looking at, you already see I have the shoulders for. That's going to be nice. And then we also have the Helltooth mantle. So that's going to be going into that. So I'm going to try and be building something along the lines of that. And Helltooth is basically, if I hit something with any of my basic skills, including just letting my Gargantuan hit it, it's going to be doing a ton more damage. It's going to put all kind of bad effects on them. So I'm going to be looking basically in the next little bit for the sets that I'm going to be building to start and just be two off, so I could just get the basics of each. And like I said, that's going to be taking Zunis right out of the running. So you're not going to see the hordes of minions. I'm not going to be having as much fun, I feel like, sitting behind my wall of guys and just channeling a horde of poison bats at people. But I am going to be doing a ton of damage personally, and I'm hoping to see, honestly, I'm hoping to be breaking 1,000,000. At one point during the builds I was playing around, I had up over 650,000 damage already. So we're looking to try and break 1,000,000 with this guy here. But we're going to be getting these sets built up over the next little while, and as they start to come online, I'm going to be making more videos. So you guys need to like, you need to subscribe. That way you can stay informed. Even hit that little bell that'll notify you when I'm making more videos. I really appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for all of your time. Have a great day.